Hello children, this is part 3 of chapter number 13, MySQL, SQL Revision Tour. So what all data types can be used with MySQL? So the data types that actually we'll be using, there are more of them, but the data types that we actually use, basically that are shown over here. So we have char, varchar. I've told you the difference between char and varchar. Char is of fixed length and varchar is of variable length, right? Integer, decimal to store float type of values. And here we can just provide that after decimal how many values can be provided. Okay, like if I say 10 comma 2, that means in all 10 digits can be there, and after decimal there can be 2 digits. Okay, so decimal is for this purpose. Then date, as we have already used date. Float, so till 23 decimal places, so this is so much precise floating type of data can be placed. Okay, double is more than 23 decimal places. Okay, time, so time in hours, minutes, second. Time stamping, so we can use time stamp. Okay, then boolean, that is 1 or 0. So all these type of data types are used with MySQL. Then constraint, first thing is what is a constraint, and we have used one or two, like we have used primary key constraint, we have used not null constraint. So what is a constraint? Actually it is a condition check. Okay, we want to put a condition to our data that if this condition is correct, then only the data must be inserted. So it's a condition or a check on a field or a group of fields. First, the data is checked whether it is meeting the condition or not. If it is, then only that data can be inserted, or otherwise it will not be inserted. Okay, so this is what is a constraint here. Like if the primary key constraint is put, then if I have inserted values into my table as 1, 2 and 3, and in the next record again I want to insert 2, so it will just check out that because it's a primary key, a primary key constraint is there, it will not allow me to enter 2 in that particular field. So now various constraints are provided here, like not null, as we have seen about not null, that if I'm using not null value here, so I cannot leave that field blank, not even I can write null over there. Okay. Default constraint tells that some default value is provided in that particular field. If no value is provided, then that value is taken up. Okay. Unique constraint. Unique means if you want to provide a unique value to that particular field, like for student ID, if I'm writing unique key constraint over there, that means all student IDs will be unique. If I say Aadhaar card number, so if I just write unique key constraint over there, so everybody's Aadhaar card number will be different. I cannot enter same Aadhaar card number into two different records. Okay, so this is what is unique constraint. Then we have check constraint. So check constraint, actually it makes sure that the value is first of all checked with whatever the value you are providing, and then only that value can be inserted. Like if you say check like for example marks between 0 and 100, so it will just check it out that marks are between 0 and 100 only. Then primary key constraint, I've told you, used to uniquely identify a row in a table. Then foreign key constraint will be used in the child table to ensure referential integrity. So this means that if the value is present in the parent table, then only the value can be inserted into your foreign keys field. Okay. Otherwise, you can of course insert null if you do not want to link both the fields together. Now we'll start with create table command. So create table customer, SID integer, not null. So this is the constraint that is provided. Last name varchar 30, not null. So not null constraint is provided. That means these two fields cannot be left blank, and even we cannot write null over here. Create table student, and then you can see here student ID integer unique. So it should be unique, and then in score default 80. So that means default value is provided here as 80. So if you're not providing any value to score, so by default it will take 80 as its value. Okay, now one more thing about primary key and unique, because both are actually unique. They both are having unique values in your records. So why two types of fields we have taken? So see beta, when we use primary key constraint, so that means in a table we can have one key as a primary key, or maybe we can have a group of two or more fields to be made as one single primary key. Like if I want to make a primary key and there's no primary key in the table, like first name and last name is made primary key, or first name and phone number is made primary key. Okay, so like this we can make the primary keys. We can take two keys together, and that is at that time, if we are using two keys together to make it a primary key, it becomes composite key basically. But yes, primary key can be just one in your table. Okay, it can be one key, it can be made, means there can be just one field which is made as primary key. Okay, otherwise there can be more than one keys, but then also we make it compositely as one primary key only. But there can be many unique keys in your table. Okay, like student is also in student ID can be unique. Then if I use email ID, so email ID can also be unique. If I use Aadhaar card, then also it can be unique, right? If I use phone number, that also can be unique. So unique keys can be many, but primary key will be just one, right? So this is the basic difference over here. Okay, then we have a check constraint. Check SID greater than 0. So we cannot use a value 0 or less than that for SID. This is a check for this. Now create table customer. So these are the ways of putting the primary key constraints here. SID integer not null primary key. Okay, then create table customer. This is one way, that where we have just written the attribute. Okay, there itself I have used my primary key constraint. Or if I forgot to use it there, then I can also write it at the end of creation of the table, like SID integer not null, last name, first name, and after that I've written primary key SID. This also is fine. Then I can also make the primary key like this here. I've used branch and SID together as the primary key. So branch integer, SID integer, last name, first name, and primary key branch comma SID. So they both together are making it as primary key. So at this point of time, this primary key actually is known as the composite key. So this is what I've just told you. When multiple keys are used as primary key, they are called composite keys. Next we come to foreign key constraint. How to put foreign key constraint? So first thing is it creates a link between parent table and child table that I've told you. The key to be declared as foreign key must be the primary key or must have unique constraint in the parent table. So the key that we want to make as foreign key in our child table, this key must be the primary key, or it should have unique value. Unique key constraint should be put on that field in the parent table. Like you can see here, customer, SID, last name, first name, and SID is the primary key here. Okay. Then orders. Order ID is the primary key, order date, customer ID, SID, this is foreign key. So SID is primary key in the customer table. That is why we have used customer SID as foreign key over here. SID and customer SID must be of the same data type. If it is of character type of data, varchar 20, let us suppose, so customer ID should also be varchar 20 only. Okay, so same data type, same length they should possess. How to actually write the command for it, for making it to be foreign key? Like create table orders, order ID, integer, date, customer SID, amount, primary key, order ID. We have just written the primary key afterwards, and then I've written foreign key. What is the foreign key? Customer SID. Okay, foreign key, customer SID. And from where I am taking the reference? I am taking the reference from customer table. So reference is customer, and from customer table which particular attribute I am using? SID. So this is how I have written foreign key is customer SID, which is in this table. References is from customer table, right? And from which attribute? SID. So this is the way we write foreign key constraint in our table. So with this, we come to the end of this part. I'll meet you in the next part now. Thank you.